If you've ever bought a 100% cotton, linen, or wool piece thinking, this is good quality and it will last because it's made from natural fibers, only to see it shrink, wrinkle endlessly, peel or lose its shape, this video is for you. Hi everyone, I'm Veronica and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to discuss about why natural fabrics aren't always better, what actually affects their quality, and how to choose materials that work for your life, not just for a label. Natural fabrics are often told to be the best option, better for your skin, better quality, more sustainable. And while that can be true, 100% natural doesn't automatically mean better clothes. I make clothes from scratch. I wear them and I've worked with almost every fiber you can think of. And I've learned this along the years. Some fully natural fabrics cause more problems than well-chosen blends of natural and synthetic fibers. Over the years, I've worn and made clothes from pretty much every type of fiber. 100% cotton, linen, silk, wool, polyesters, and all kinds of blends. But what keeps surprising the most is that some of the fully natural pieces didn't age as well as expected, and that they're sometimes actually more problematic than items made from blends. A cotton blouse can look crisp and perfect in store, and then after just a few washes, it starts shrinking in one area, stretching in another, peeling under the arms, getting thinner where there's friction, or fading faster than you'd think. And unfortunately, being natural isn't the only factor that decides how long a garment lasts. It's a combination of how the fabric is made, what quality the fibers are, and how we treat it once we bring it home into our wardrobes. And to understand why natural fabrics don't always perform the way we expect, we need to talk about fiber quality. Because not all cotton, linen, or wool is created equally. So let's look at the main reasons natural fabrics aren't always necessarily making the best of the best quality clothes. When it comes to natural fabrics, the biggest mistake we make is assuming that they're all the same. With cotton, for example, one of the most important factors is fiber length. You'll hear terms like long staple or short staple cotton, and this makes a huge difference on how your clothes age. Long fiber cotton, like Egyptian or Pima, is smoother and stronger. It holds its shape better, peels much later, and stays looking new for longer. That's why you'll usually find it in higher quality and more expensive pieces. Short fiber cotton, on the other hand, peels faster, thins out in high friction areas, stretches unevenly, and can even tear sooner. And when we talk about clothing that are made from natural fibers and are actually not really qualitative, and we notice this with time, all these issues actually start long before the fabric becomes that piece of clothing. We have to go to the origin. So in case of the cotton fibers, they are obtained from the cotton plant, and climate, water, or soil quality all affect the fiber strength and the final quality of the fiber, of the fabric, and of the piece. When conditions are harsh or resources are limited, fibers grow shorter and weaker, which lowers quality but also lowers cost. For example, regions with high heat causes cellulose damage, shortening the cotton fiber and length. Lack of water and nutrients also creates weaker fibers, hence the cotton production uses an extensive amount of fertilizers and irrigation. But you might have also heard that there are a lot of pesticides used in the cotton production, because pests and diseases also impact the quality of the cotton. And less qualitative cotton is sold cheaper, which no business wants to have. Now let's talk about linen. Linen is another type of natural fabrics that is known worldwide. Linen comes from the flax plant, and the environment it grows in has a huge impact on the fiber quality. The flax that is grown in hot and dry weather, like some regions in Asia, produces usually weaker fibers, creating a rougher material. Meanwhile, the flax grown in Europe, mostly in France, Belgium, and Netherlands, all result in better quality fibers because of the ideal climate for this plant, which is a hot and humid weather. And if you didn't know, these three countries create the 3/4 of the world's long fiber linen production, making Europe the #1 region in the world that produces linen. And this is why I'll often notice a difference between linen that looks beautiful in the store, but quickly loses its structure, compared to the linen that softens over time while still holding up, because it's all about the fibers used in that specific piece of clothing. In very simple terms, better flax produces better linen, and that usually shows in the price. Because linen can be wonderful, but not all linen is made to last. Meanwhile, with wool, quality depends even more on the source, because it is an animal fiber. There are many animals grown for wool production. Some of the most popular ones that are used worldwide in clothes production are sheep wool, alpaca wool, goat wool, camel wool, and Angora rabbit wool. When we talk about the wool quality, the breed of the animal matters the most, as well as the age of the animal and also the region of their body from where the wool was cut off. Finer wool usually comes from younger animals and specific areas like their shoulders, while the wool coming from older animals or from their belly, legs, or tail is usually a coarser wool, which tends to feel scratchier and less refined. Also, the animal's health and living conditions are important as well. Healthier animals produce stronger, more consistent fibers, and that shows directly into how the wool feels and wears. All of these things show why the label 100% natural tells you very little about how a fabric will behave in real life. And fiber mix is only a part of the story. Now let's look at how natural fibers actually react to things like moisture, heat, and friction, because that's where many everyday wardrobe frustrations come from. So, let's discuss how natural fabrics actually behave when we are wearing them. Because another reason why natural fabrics aren't always better is that they're simply more sensitive to various changes in the environment compared to the synthetics. They respond much more to moisture, heat, and friction, which is great for comfort but not always great for durability or easy care. Take cotton, for example. When it gets wet, it absorbs water, becomes heavier, and can stretch out of shape. That's why cotton pieces sometimes feel very different after washing, and especially if they're hung or worn while they're still a little damp. On the other side, silk is even more sensitive. It absorbs humidity very easily, which can make it softer and more flexible, but also it makes it more prone to snagging and losing shape. And with silk, heat is another issue, because ironing silk at a too hot temperature can damage the fiber, dull its shine, or even cause yellowing over time. And since we talked about wool, let's also discuss how they react to the environment. Wool reacts strongly to heat and movement. Hot water or rough washing can cause it to shrink or felt, permanently changing the size and texture of the garment. And viscose, even though it's plant-based, it's especially sensitive to moisture. In humid conditions, it wrinkles more, stretches more, and can even develop watermarks on the surface, which is not looking very nice. But listen, none of this means you should avoid natural fabrics. It simply means they often need more thoughtful care and work best when they're chosen with your lifestyle and environment in mind. So what can you actually do if you want to choose better clothes? Especially if you prefer natural fibers or you might be allergic to some of the other synthetic fibers, but also want pieces that last and fit in your life. First of all, always check the fiber content and the care label. Always. Not just to see if something is natural, but to understand what that piece needs in terms of washing, drying, and ironing. Now, the care label won't tell you everything. It won't tell you how the plant was grown, the health of the animal, the exact fiber length, or where the fibers came from, but the price can still be a rough indicator. A $10 t-shirt simply isn't made from premium long fiber cotton. There's just no budget for that, and this doesn't work in the current mathematics of the economy. This is just the production reality. And second, you could look for industry certifications, especially when it comes to cotton. Check for certifications like Ocotex that test for harmful substances, or GOTS that has strict rules for organic textiles and chemical limits, or also for Blue Sign that ensures responsible chemical use in production. They don't guarantee perfection, but they do indicate better control over chemicals and production processes. So at least you'll know that the chemical impact is lower. And the next thing is also important. Don't be afraid of blends or even synthetics if they suit your lifestyle better. I personally think how you live and wear your clothes matter much more than always going for a 100% natural label. I think the wardrobe should be adjusted to us and not the other way around. For example, working out in fully natural fabrics is not great. Very simply put. A 100% cotton gym set will absorb sweat quickly, hold on to it, feel heavy when wet, show sweat marks, and eventually start smelling. Because nothing evaporates from cotton gym clothes. And that's exactly why modern sportswear is mostly made from synthetic or technical fabrics. Those materials are designed to keep you dry and comfortable. Or another example is the office wear. Because if you need crisp-looking shirts, a cotton blend with some polyester will wrinkle much less actually and hold its shape better than a thick 100% shirt which can look badly very quickly. It will look as if you'd never ironed that shirt in its entire life, not like 10 minutes ago before you left the house. And there are endless examples like this. So if you're not sure what works best for your lifestyle, leave a comment down below and I'm happy to help with specific fabric suggestions. But when it comes to blends, there are actually some very good combinations. There's nothing magical there, it's just how material properties are doing their job when being put together. So polyester or polyamide blended with cotton can reduce peeling and stretching. Elastane adds flexibility without permanently deforming the fabric, and that's why skinny and stretchy jeans actually work, because of that elastane in the fiber mix. And blends can also be lighter, drape better, and fade more slowly, because natural fibers tend to break down faster over time. But adding a synthetic fiber in it can help balance that out. And in the end, it's all about balance. A well-chosen blend can give you comfort, practicality, and longevity without sacrificing how the garment feels or looks. So, natural fabrics aren't a guarantee of quality, durability, or easy care. Some of them, like silk for example, can be absolutely wonderful, but they also require extreme attention and care. A 100% natural label on its own doesn't mean a fabric is better, long-lasting, or more practical. What really matters is fiber quality, construction, and whether that material actually fits your lifestyle. If this video was helpful, please give it a like, it really helps my channel grow. And if you want more videos about choosing better clothes and caring for them properly, don't forget to subscribe. And also you can follow me on Instagram where I share how I make clothes and more clothing tips as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.